Commercial Service Office here in Houston. On behalf of the City of Houston, the Greater Houston Partnership, and the Port of Houston and the Commerce Department, I welcome Minister Ergun to Houston, and I'm very happy that you're here. A lot of Houstonians are not aware that Houston is the #2 exporting city in the United States, only behind New York, so you've come to the right place to do business.
The Turkish community has been great when it comes to rendering aid and comfort to persons in need. And I want to thank you for what you have done to help the people of Haiti in a time of need. Please, let's give an expression of appreciation for Haiti, for Pakistan, for Katrina, for all of the many unfortunate circumstances that have beset people around the world that you have been involved in helping to make better. I am honored to be here with the minister today. This is my first opportunity to meet him. He tells me that he is going to visit multiple cities while in the United States of America, which is wonderful. But I have assured him that Houston will be his favorite when he's finished. And Mr. Minister, I want you to know that you're seated at a table with an august and important group of persons. I shall not mention all of them, but it would be remiss of me to come to an event of this type, of this magnitude, and not speak of one who happens to represent our Chamber of Commerce by another name. In Texas, we're different. We do things in a big way, and we do them in unlike the way others may be doing things. In Texas, in Houston, Texas, the preeminent Chamber of Commerce from Houston, Texas is called the Partnership. And I'm honored to tell you that the head of the partnership, the Honorable, well, actually, let me restate that. The head of the partnership, not here, but the head of the Port Authority is here. We have a Port Authority that is a vibrant part of our community, and the head of the Port Authority is with us, the Honorable James Edmonds. Would you give Jim a big expression of appreciation? A real good friend, and helps us with a lot of our projects in the 9th Congressional District. I'm also honored to know that there are SBA representatives probably around the room. If you're with the SBA, the Small Business Administration, would you kindly stand so that I may give you a special expression? Let's hear it for the SBA representatives, one at the table with me. And of course, we have the honor of having a newly elected city council person who hit the ground running, who's doing an outstanding job, who is business oriented, and wants to be of service to the total community. Of course, I speak of none other than my friend, Council Member Al Hung. Please, let's hear it for Al. Now, friends, I will do 2 additional things, maybe 3. I have to recognize the president of this organization, an organization that has taken on the challenge of helping persons in this country to better serve persons who want to do business with our country. And of course, the president is here. And Mr. President, I thank you for being here. Mr. Yaka, would you please let me announce that you're here? And let's give him a big expression as well. 2 things to do now, quickly. And I try to adhere to protocol to the extent that I can, but given that I'm on the ballot, sometimes I will use 2 words where 1 will do. But today, I do want to acknowledge the chamber, this chamber, for what it is doing, because you are now a facilitator for persons desiring to do business in this country. You know how business is best perfected within this country, and with your good offices, you can facilitate business with persons not only in Turkey, but around the world. You can make a difference in the amount of trade that the United States of America can perfect with other countries around the world. For this, I salute you. I also salute you for your ability to act as, to some extent, a negotiator, helping persons with some of the business interests that they may have, helping them to acquire proper credentials. I think this is important. And finally, you're also in the business of education, facilitation, negotiation, and education. Education in the sense that you educate people about the protocols. The protocols are always important in the business world. It's amazing how one minor mishap in protocol can be a major faux pas when it comes to international trade and international business. You provide the protocols and the intelligence for persons such that they can fit right in this Texas environment where we have our own way of doing business. And I'm appreciative that you have allowed the Texas environment to become a part of what you do, but not to the extent that it prevents you from helping persons across the length and breadth of the planet. So for these reasons, I am honored today to present a certificate of special congressional recognition to be presented to the Texas Turkish American Chamber of Commerce in honor of your 2010 luncheon. And I ask that the appropriate persons come forward so that I may kindly present this certificate. And as I do it, friends, I want you to know that I have had a great relationship in this city with the Turkish community. The Turkish community is a part of the fiber and fabric of the Houston community, and I want to continue to serve you in the Congress of the United States of America. I thank you for the many things that you have done to make life better in Houston, and I salute you today with this certificate, which will be among the many that I have already given and will be giving to this community for its outstanding service. Let's hear it again for the Turkish community and for the Chamber. As I indicated, one faux pas can make a major difference in your life. I failed to acknowledge the Consular Corps and all of the many persons who are here representing many parts of the world. So this is my attempt to do that which I should have done, and hopefully do it as well as I should have done it. To these members, I beg that we ask that they stand, if you would, please, if you don't mind, just so that I may suggest that we give them a special expression of appreciation for being here with us. All of the members of the Corps. Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.
It is also my pleasure to introduce the next speaker, who is not only a great friend and proponent of Houston. I look to Jim Edmonds as a friend and a mentor. You know, he's the chairman of the Port of Houston. The port contributes a great deal to the area economy, and I can think of no one better and have so much honor to introduce as Jim because of his dedication not only to the port but to the community.
Thank you, Dwayne. I appreciate that, and I always appreciate Congressman Green. We are very, very blessed in Houston in a variety of ways, but two that I'll mention. One is that our bipartisan congressional delegation works steadfastly for the port each and every day, and that translates into our ability to work with you and to help you. Secondly, he mentioned the other consul generals here, and I don't know what the Port of Houston would be like without all of you. You're great friends, you're great trade representatives, and we work closely together to make sure that the port grows, but that your respective business communities grow. And one of the observations I have about Houston is that it has a strength that few other cities have, and that is that there are groups from around the world, and I think the Turkish community may be the very first, who have come together as a business organization, and you have formed a Chamber of Commerce, and you have worked closely with the Houston business community and the Texas business community to make sure that trade between your business communities and the Port of Houston and the state of Texas and the city of Houston grows, and I thank you very much for that. I'm here today on behalf of Jeff Mosley, who is the Chief Executive Officer of the Greater Houston Partnership. Jeff couldn't be with us today, and he sends his regrets, and I know very much that he would like to be here because he too is a strong friend and advocate of what you do. We are very honored that His Excellency Nihat Ergun, the Minister of Trade and Industry for the Republic of Turkey, is here. And sir, welcome to you again. Let me also welcome the delegation members that have joined the Minister on his first trip to Houston. And like the Congressman said, I'm sure it will be your favorite stop and not your last trip to Houston. But I'd like to take a moment to also welcome the Honorable Akil Oktum, the Consul General of Turkey in Houston, whom I do know and whom I have a great deal of respect for. And Mr. Consul General, thank you, sir, for all that you do. He too works hard to increase the cultural and trade ties between your country and the port and the city of Houston. And then let me especially thank the Texas Turkish American Chamber of Commerce and its president, Yakov, for his continued leadership here and in strengthening this region's business cooperation with Turkey, and particularly for arranging this luncheon with the Greater Houston Partnership, and particularly to honor Minister Ergun. As the primary business advocate for the 10-county Houston region, the Greater Houston Partnership's mission is to help attract high-wage jobs and increase capital investment while stimulating foreign trade growth. With the success in these three areas, the economic prosperity of the region is that much more secure. Our region is proud of its standing as a gateway to global markets. And while the global recession has stalled growth and opportunities for many cities and regions, because of our robust, proactive international outreach, the Houston region has stayed the course and has actually even prospered. Our continued business and cultural ties with Turkey and other important commercial and trade areas in the Near East positions us well to prosper into the future. And through the years, the connection between the Houston region and Turkey has gotten stronger and more vital. As a testament to this connection, Houston forged a sister city bond with Istanbul in 1986. Since the 1980s, we have enjoyed mutually beneficial exchange of business, culture, and goodwill for more than 2 decades. Turkey's total trade with Houston has been steadily rising in the past 5 years, ranking Turkey as one of Houston's top 30 global partners. As of 2009, total trade between Houston and Turkey reached more than $1.5 billion. The very essence of our gathering today is to work together, the Houston region and Turkey, to increase trade and business cooperation between our two economies. As what we hope will be the first of many visits by the minister, the Greater Houston Partnership is honored to have you here, and we look forward to expanding our relationship with you and with Turkey. The humanitarian, cultural, and economic activities, not to mention the efforts of the Consul General and the Texas-Turkish American Chamber of Commerce, have greatly enhanced the global partnership that exists between Houston and Turkey. So again, welcome, and thank you for being here, and thank you for putting this luncheon together.
In January of this year, President Obama announced the National Export Initiative. And the goal of this initiative is to double the share of our GDP that's attributable to exports in the next 5 years. As a part of that initiative, the Commerce Department, in conjunction with other agencies within the U.S. government, looked at where we think the growth rates, the greatest growth rates would be over the next 5 to 10 years. And we, as any self-respecting government agency, we created a new acronym called CIVETS, which stands for Colombia, Egypt, Vietnam, Turkey, and Indonesia. So you can see the measure of the importance of Turkey to U.S. trade is that we have identified it as a priority country to help U.S. companies export to. And in light of that, it's my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Hakan Taşu, who is with Tuscan, which is a business organization that represents U.S. and American businesses. He's out of Washington, D.C., and it's precisely these kinds of organizations, as well as the Chamber, that will help us grow this trade relationship. Sir?
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to address such a distinguished guest in Texas. Actually, this is my 3rd trip in the last 9 months to Texas, so I'm quite happy with this, and it looks like Houston is going to be one of the most important city or one of the most important destinations for all Turkish delegations in the coming months as well. His Excellency, distinguished guests, I don't want to take too much of your time, but what I would like to say, actually 3 points I would like to make. And the first point is about my organization, who TUSCON is, what we are trying to do, and what's the value of TUSCON for Texas for us. And the second thing, the Turkey-US relationship, how it's going, especially in the economic frontiers. We have a couple of good news that I can bring from Washington, so I'd like to tell a couple of things about that. And finally, I would like to promote my country, Turkey, in here to Texans, so that you may think twice to come to Turkey as well. As I said, this is our third trip in the last 9 months. I hope that many of our business colleagues in this program are gonna plan to come to Turkey soon, and we would be delighted to be their partner when they're gonna be in Turkey. TUSCON, Confederation of Businessmen and Industrialists of Turkey, is one of the widespread and largest business NGO in Turkey. It's completely voluntary based. We have about 16,000 members and about 50,000 companies in 150 business associations. In Turkey, we have two dichotomy actually. We have the Chamber of Commerce, which is mandatory, and it's a constitutional organization, so you can say it's like a semi-government. And our organization is completely voluntary-based, which makes it quite a similar organization like US Chamber in here. We have local associations in all cities in Turkey. And our main target as TUSCON is to promote international trade, is to make our business people global businessmen. That's why we organize several bilateral business matchmaking programs called Trade Bridges. We organized the last trade bridge last June, and the next one is coming next week actually. In the last one, we hosted about 140 countries from 140 countries and about 2,200 international businessmen. 1,400 translators worked, and more than 100,000 bilateral meetings were held in 3 days. Expected trade volume is coming years will be approximately around $5 billion. And one good note about United States actually, last year in this Trade Bridge program, we hosted about 50 companies from United States, and 15 of them came from Texas. Thanks to our good company in here, Texas Turkish American Chamber of Commerce. We have to thank them a lot. They are representing our country quite well in this state. And also we are very honored and privileged that we are working with them, and we are their partner in Turkey, actually. And the second thing, between US and Turkey, if you look at the numbers, the trades are almost negligible. Compare EU trade with the US trade of Turkey, European Union and United States. We have about the same size GDP, same size economies. Turkish trade with EU, European Union countries, is around $200 billion. About 55% of Turkey's total trade. Look at the trade numbers with United States actually. It's like $11 billion imports and $5 billion exports. 16 versus 200 billion, I think should tell us something, that we ignored the economy frontier in our relationship. Via NATO, via other means of Cold War institutions, we all work on security-related issues. We talk about, right now we are talking about Afghanistan, we are talking about Iraq, we are talking about Iran, we are talking about all sorts of issues. Name top 10 priorities of the United States in foreign policy, and name top 10 priorities of Turkish foreign policy. You'll see 8, 9 of those match. Which brings us that focus, that security focus, which we don't like,